This is a Fatal 4 podcast. It's the Didn't Get All of It Year-End Awards.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Didn't Get All of It 2025 Year-End Award Show. I'm your host, Paul Griffin, and what an event we got for you tonight. It's the 2025 Year-End Awards, our second ever Year-End Award Show, first annual as we call it, and joining me is the rest of the Fatal Four, like Cody.
It was a G.I. Jane joke.
First annual?
First annual?
It's not, okay, look, it's the second annual. This is the second time we've done this. It is annual. This is the second one. Second annual.
Also here, you can't keep him down. No sickness can stop him. It's Pro Wrestling Noah.
Cody thinks the new decade doesn't start till like the first year. He's one of those guys. Like, oh, it's not the 2020s until 2021.
No, that's stupid. The 2020s start in 2020.
Also joining us, the B stands for Black Tie event. It's B-Rob.
I like that. I'm here. Salutations.
Someone's gonna catch that was the exact same intro as last year.
Was it really?
Well, for B-Rob it was.
Oh, okay. I was like, was I sick again last year? Probably.
You might have been. It's that time of the year where sickness is going around. You know what else is going around, folks? The Patreon. That's how you can support the show. Hit us up at patreon.com/fatal4pod or just go to fatal4pod.com and all the stuff you need is right there at the top. Classic website fashion. But for $3 a month, you get ad-free shows, you get bonus content, you get access to the Discord, and slight programming note, we were going to drop a 2025 year-end award or year-end discussion next week, but due to scheduling conflicts, that will be pushed. So next Thursday, New Year's Day, we'll be dropping the worst of award show. But if you're a Patreon subscriber, you can get that this weekend under the $5 tier, which was inundated with content over the past week. So Lots of content there. If you're a $5 subscriber, you're eating well, thanks to the Japan boys, who will also be doing a year-end award show next week. But
yes,
I said all the things. We should get into the nitty-gritty, and let's do the year-end awards. How about it? You guys want to do that?
Hell yeah. My favorite show of the year.
Let's do it. Can I just say real quick about 2025 in that I feel like the year in wrestling really reflected the world at large in 2025 in that there was just so much shit that happened that it's really hard to keep track of like all of the like especially all the bad shit that happened. It's just like
so
what even
for the years that I've been doing year-end shows, I've kept a running note of all the categories. So throughout the year, when something happens, I will add to that note. And around WrestleMania this year, I just stopped adding to the note. Like nothing popped off really. So a lot of my awards are going to be early year contenders. And I don't know if that's because the year started off so strong that it was hard to follow that, or if everything was just fine. And I'm leaning more
a little bit of both.
I think it's just all being fine.
And then I kind of like agree with Noah when we were talking off air or whatever. This thing is split. So we're going to have the good side of the awards and the bad side of the awards. So like, I remember a significant amount of good things, but when it comes to the bad stuff, I kind of like blot that out of my mind because it sucks so much that I don't want to remember the shit. So it's just like, whatever.
Well, we'll get to that on a future episode. But first, let's do the good stuff, like our first category.
Men's Wrestler of the Year.
So rules of Snake, it's same as last year, which B-Rob might figure out this year.
Hey, fuck style.
I will say this was one of the many difficult categories for me, as I feel like all the top guys were like kind of just playing it safe this year. Even Cody Rhodes admitted on his podcast that he's been like being extra safe and just not, I don't know. Everything just felt fine. So you're not getting a top major player from me as Wrestler of the Year. I decided to narrow it down to person I'm most excited to watch. And
I like that.
Yeah. This year, my Men's Wrestler of the Year is going to someone who will likely be on our list again next year, maybe in the same category. It's Javon Evans.
Woo! Whoa.
That dude fucking rules.
That's good shit.
That's where I'm at with it. It's Javon Evans' year, and hopefully next year it's his year again because he fucking rules.
I like
Did not
that.
see that one coming.
I didn't either. I thought about it a lot today, and I'm like, oh, it's Javon. It's got to be Javon.
Damn.
Wow.
He really did shine this year. Like every time he got, a spotlight, he did not waste the opportunity. He really stepped up.
It sounds like he's getting called up as soon as like next week.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, he looks great on
setting
Raw
that
this
up on
week.
Raw.
Yeah, because like I barely hear talk of like NXT people being free agents in certain aspects or whatever, and they are specifically talking about him being a free agent. So I was like, oh yeah, that's some good shit.
What does that say about Ava letting him become a free agent? His contract just lapsed. You got Briggs locked down, and you got Trick Williams there for a lifetime, but you can't get Javon Evans to stick around.
You remember that Adam Cole guy and Roderick Strong? Yeah, they do that a lot at NXT.
Yeah, they forgot his contract lapsed. That makes sense. They're too busy.
What if Javon Evans
adding
shows up
more
in
dates
AEW?
Yeah, they're too busy
adding
with
more dates to Trick Williams.
Yeah,
he had a couple more zeros at the end of his dates.
They're too busy with butt girls and TNA, which is both.
Well, Cody, you're up.
All right. Well, for those
Just
new
type
this
Logan
year,
Paul right now.
Nope. Stop. For those that are new this year, my approach for choosing the Wrestler of the Year is a little scientific. I have some ways of going about it. I don't just think about it all day and pluck a name out of a hat like Paul seems to do.
That's not what I fucking did.
What I do is, like Paul, I do keep a running list all year. And anytime I watch a match that I immediately loved, I will jot it down, and I have a running list of potential matches of the year. And in choosing Wrestler of the Year, what I do is I just look at that list of matches, and whoever's name appears the most on that list, they're my Wrestler of the Year. Right? Pretty makes sense. It's of all the matches this year that I loved, this person appeared more than anyone else, so
Joe Hendry.
they've got to be number one. Well, that worked all dandy last year when I gave it to Cody Rhodes, but this year, quite an interesting development. There was a tie.
Ooh.
In fact, two wrestlers appeared 5 times on my list each. And those two wrestlers even wrestled each other.
Wow, you listed Sheamus versus Rusev 5 times in your match of the year.
Nope. So it was kind of a coin toss. I had to sit and think about it a little bit. But ultimately, I decided to choose the person who won that match between the two. And that would be the never seen 17 greatest of all time, John Cena.
Okay. Rest in peace.
It was his year.
Say what you will about the retirement tour, and I'm sure we all will.
I got a lot to say about John Cena. Not on this episode.
But when it was good, it was good. I mean, some of the heel stuff had some shining moments, like his promo with Cody Rhodes about, that Cody all he ever did was steal money from billionaire sons. Like that was really good. I did like the Punk pipe bomb promo that he did. And then his promos when he turned face, all great. Even when he was a heel, his matches like versus Orton was really good. I enjoyed his match with Punk at Night of Champions. I enjoyed his match with Logan Paul. Him and Cody at SummerSlam was fantastic. And John Cena and AJ Styles at Crown Jewel was incredible. So I just think, it really was his year. It was the retirement tour. And I think to put a little cherry on top of that, he deserves Wrestler of the Year.
Fair enough. I'm sure we'll have a lot to talk about that in a later segment.
Yeah, get it early at the Patreon.
Well, for my Wrestler of the Year, it's someone that I feel like I've talked about a lot on the main podcast this year about how big a fan I've become of him. Specifically this year, I feel like he's really, and I didn't want to necessarily give him most improved because I feel like he has been this good. He's just really fully formed this year.
Wow.
And that wrestler
going
is
full Logan Paul.
someone a lot better than Logan Paul. And that guy is Kyle Fletcher, ladies and gentlemen. The Proto Star. Applause from B-Rob.
Wow, I picked the
Good
prototype,
answer.
and Noah picked the Proto Star.
And I picked the Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Yeah, Kyle Fletcher, this dude has it. Like, I feel like more than any other guy when, like, it was around, like, the end of the first quarter of this year when, Kenny and Swerve and Ospreay kind of all exited at the same time. Like, all of their top stars were just kind of gone. Kyle Fletcher really held things down. He was like one of the main draws of the company for a while because his matches are always good. Whenever I see Kyle on the card for like weekly episodes, I'm like, gotta watch that. So yeah, easily for me, the Proto Star, the Proto Star Kyle Fletcher is my Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Bet. So it lands on me to end this round. And I want to go with my honorable mention for Men's Wrestler of the Year because it was very close on who I was going to choose between him and who I actually picked. So my runner-up is Bandito. Dude has been killing it all fucking year. Yeah. He had a little fumble in his return from injury and whatnot. He got a concussion right off the bat when he went up against Jericho.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, no shit, right? And then I think he even had an additional injury after that. So you sidelined for a lot of the time. But once he did come back, he came back like full throttle, captured the ROH Men's Championship, the Tag Team Championships, and just been on a tear, putting on amazing matches, which you'll hear about later on tonight. But the person that I actually picked over Bandito, regardless of all that, is one Kyle Fletcher.
Yeah, let's go.
This dude blows my fucking mind. And just like Paul was saying about Javon Evans, like anytime, I think about, some of the coolest stuff that I can remember from this year, it involves the Kyle Fletcher or whatever. So like, I enjoy seeing this dude, just as Noah said, when his name is matched alongside anyone on the card, anyone, I am like, fucking right. Let's do it.
Watch it.
And then like having the privilege to see him in person as we did here when he came to Houston. And
Ace Austin. That match is so good.
Another guy that is a bona fide contender for any male wrestler of the year category, Ace Austin. That's another story. But anyway, Kyle Fletcher is my pick for Men's Wrestler of the Year.
Great TNT title reign too.
Yes.
All good answers. I would like to see Kyle Fletcher versus Javon Evans. Thank you.
I would like to see that as well.
Last year, we talked about merging these awards and forgot that we talked about that. So On to the next category.
Women's Wrestler of the Year.
So it falls on me to start it off. I looked at the list, so I knew I was first. I will, once again, my runner-up, Becky Lynch. She has done a lot for this women's division. Great character work, great in-ring work. You put her alongside anybody, does a banner job. But the person that I did pick for this award this year is one Mercedes Moné.
Ooh.
She's
got all the belts.
Yeah,
statistically, she's the best.
Yeah, regardless of all that, she has been performing well in the ring. I mean, just killing it with anybody that she goes up with, which is apparently every goddamn body. And, you know, I like where they're going right now. She's already starting to peel back the layers of titles that she has upon her shoulders. She just lost the Rev Pro Women's Championship to, what's her fucking name? Osprey's old lady, Alex Windsor. Windsor. Yes, you are correct. And I believe that story that we all been talking about on this show is about to start showing itself or whatever, where she's unraveling and starts to, the Dragon Balls start to disperse back to their homes or some shit like that. Shout out to Ultimo Dragon Ball. But my women's performer of the year, Mercedes Moné.
All right. Well, same company, I will say. This lady really, she had a great year. I'm going to just go ahead and say it's timeless Toni Storm. And I feel like a lot of people are saying she had a great year in 2024 as well. But like this year, she had, and spoiler for, you know, an upcoming category, she had one of the greatest matches in this company's history earlier this year. And as well, like, she took the timeless Toni Storm character and continued to build on it. She did not just, like, you know, stand on her laurels. She continued to build and evolve this character over the year. Like the small package being a lethal part of her, you know, arsenal of moves now is really exciting when it happens. She also spent most of this year without Luther, which was like a very, like, you know, you could argue integral part of her character. He's back now, but she spent most of the year without him. And just like the course of her losing the title and in the, you know, current state of her just trying to figure out who she is without the title, just excellent storytelling, excellent in-match stuff. Just like 10 out of 10. Amazing women's wrestler this year. Timeless Toni Storm.
Respect. I will say I enjoy B Rob's answer quite a lot. If I was handing this out based on just like vibes, it would definitely be Mercedes Moné, or just like sentimental favorite, because I think she is killing it and I love her.
But Cody, before you give your answer, all I must say is, bitch, don't kill my vibe.
I won't. Maybe I will, but
you might.
No, I think you'll like my answer because again, back to the algorithm of checking who appears the most. For me, in an absolute landslide, my women's wrestler of the year is Becky Lynch.
Oh, good pick.
You know, you like Becky.
Yeah, good pick.
I don't. That's the crazy thing. I don't like Becky Lynch at all.
She did it. She tricked you, and now she's your wrestler of the year.
I think I gave it to her last year too, or maybe the year before. I don't remember, but
we didn't podcast before last year. Brand new show.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know, man. She just she was on fire this year.
Last year you gave
match
EOS
quality.
guy.
Okay. Yeah. She's just on fire. She I feel like of all the women on the main roster, WWE, she is, let me think about this. Yeah, I think she's like the most clear like character on the show for women. Like she brings, for lack of a better term, a gimmick to what she does, and she does it very well. Whether a heel or a face. I think she's been heel all year, but yeah, I really enjoyed her series with Lyra Valkyria for the most part. They had a couple bangers. Her match with Nikki Bella I really enjoyed at Clash of Paris. And yeah, I just think her in-ring and character work has been really, really good this year. So congrats, Becky.
I hope you make it into her list of people who say that she's the best.
Oh my God. That's
like ESPN says it. Cody at Fatal 4 Pod says it.
It's true. Listeners, let's get that going. Maybe send some tweets or touts or whatever. Let her know.
Let her know we didn't get all of it, but Cody picked her. Well, I was actually listening back to last year's version of this show, and I had picked Roxanne Perez for this, which
yes, you did.
Made sense because she carried all of NXT. This year, she finally got called up from the seemingly bottomless pit of that program. She crawled her way out somehow, but hasn't done much of anything. And for a good part of this year, I thought Liv Morgan was going to run away with this award. But then she got hurt.
She ran to the emergency room.
Yeah, she ran there and said, my arm has got an owie, and I need you to fix it. So that took her out of the running. And then, of course, Alexa Bliss returned this year, which means she's always my number one. However, there's an award waiting for her later. So I have to give it to who I think should be the obvious one. I'm kind of surprised nobody picked her. But has to go to Io Sky.
Oh, that's not a bad pick.
Especially last year, Cody, you had mentioned that it was like a recovery year for her. And then the Rumble happened, and then she kind of got shoehorned into that Mania match, and everyone's like, what the hell? Why is she in this match? And then it's just been smooth sailing from there. She is kind of perfect at all the wrestling. And the match she had with Stephanie Vicaire was amazing. And I mean, she had many with her, but like the big one where Stephanie won the title was truly excellent. And I'm sure we'll be talking about Stephanie next year in this category. But for this year, it's got to be Io.
Not a bad answer. I was going to be shocked if nobody on this show picked one of the three women in that WrestleMania triple threat world title match, because
I mean, Bianca's just gone. I assume at this point they're saving her for a Rumble return, and Rhea's been kind of like sidelined. She just isn't the star of Raw, despite being the most over person they have on the roster. I don't understand what that's about, but that's our Women's Wrestler of the Year. Let's move on to one more category before we head to a break with
Most Improved Performer.
This is the one award I've been excited to give for like weeks now. And maybe we'll be talking about them in one of the previous categories next year. But I think it's hard to say anybody else. Maybe you guys will prove me wrong. It's Maxine Dupree.
Good answer.
It's Maxine. Maybe the social media helps. If you follow her on social media, outside of, being the guy who follows wrestlers because they're hot, most of her content is her rolling around a ring if it's not a Monday. And I don't think I've seen anybody try to be that good, that hard than her. And it shows. Like she's not 100% there yet, but that's why she's the Intercontinental Champion and not the World Champion. And I don't know. I think she's just fantastic. The social media stuff helps. It's weird because they don't ever show any of it, but like she clearly wants it more than probably any wrestler I've ever seen.
She's also transitioned to being the main character of Alpha Academy, which is impressive.
Yeah. And she's serious. Like there other people there are goofballs, and now they sit in the back. It'll be interesting when Gable returns and if there's any interactions there. But she won the Intercontinental Championship before he did.
That's crazy to think about.
She's great. Maxine Dupree, most improved.
All right. Well, I will continue the train here of showing some love and respect to the women, because my most improved performer is actually the dance partner of my women's wrestler of the year for most of this year. And that is going to be Lyra Valkyria. She really won me over this year. I went from actively booing her out of the building a couple of years ago at an NXT show versus Tiffany Stratton, to finding her very dull last year and not getting the character and thinking she had no personality and having no interest in her matches, to this year being fully invested in her as a person. I really enjoy her, what comes off as authenticity on the mic. Her promos aren't like the best or groundbreaking or anything like that, but they feel genuine, and she's just easy to root for. And I really, really enjoyed a lot of her matches this year as well. So, I mean, hell, I think it was this pod. Maybe it was a former life, but I used to not even pronounce her name right. We called her Upset Valkyria.
Upset Stomach Valkyria. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do. So she was last year. She was Cody's or Noah's most improved. Now it's Cody's. Maybe next year she'll be my most improved, and then the year after it'll be B-Rob, and then we'll all finally like her.
I like her.
I'm still mad at her for this year.
What did she do wrong for this year?
We'll get
Why are
to
you
it.
mad at her? Oh boy.
We'll get to it.
All right.
Noah.
Yeah. I struggled with this one. I was really,
Because you were
it was
sick?
really hard to like find a thread for like, someone who has maybe not been so hot and has gotten better over the year. So I decided to go a little out of the box with this one and say my most improved for 2025 is the Jurassic Express.
What the hell?
Because
I forgot.
Yeah.
I forgot that was a tag team, and I thought you were giving this to a movie, and I was like,
That would be
I
great.
saw that with Scarlett Johansson. It was not very good.
Yeah.
She really brought life into the franchise.
I mean, this year kind of was a Jurassic Express rebirth, if you think about it, because
That's the sequel.
where both of these guys were, Jungle Jack Perry and Luchasaurus, they were just kind of floundering for like the past 2 years, I would say, with Jack Perry and his scapegoat gimmick, which I always found just like a little too brutish, a little too, try hard in the angsty.
It was fine.
Yeah, like
Angle.
shitty. That's a good description.
And then Kill Switch, like, it was kind of interesting with Christian, but they never really fully like paid that off, I feel like, as much as they could have.
And then he got hurt.
And then he got hurt. So, but yeah, they brought him back with, Jurassic Express fully intact, and they haven't like totally gotten to a place where, they're like actively doing things yet. But I feel like the AEW tag team division has been a lot better recently, and I feel like they'll really, hopefully contribute to that, because they're both really good, especially when they're together. So
Yes, I agree.
Most improved, they are a lot better now than where they have been in recent history. So most improved for me is the Jurassic Express.
I would bet Luchasaurus would agree with you, considering where he had been this year.
Yeah, on a bed hooked up to a bunch of oxygen machines. Yeah.
Yeah, he was almost.
Like, I'm pretty fucking improved.
He was almost fossil fuel.
But Tish.
So it falls on me, and I'm not gonna give you too much because Paul has said enough for me. My pick is Maxine Dupree.
Yeah. Wow.
2 for 2.
Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I thought this was going to be a clean
I've enjoyed
sweep of
everything.
all AEW guys for Noah and B-Rob, and all WWE for Paul and I. B-Rob breaking the cycle.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, you got to give Becky some credit for the matches that they had together, where Maxine is clearly like training and stuff, but she never got to show any of that on TV until she got in there with Becky, and those matches fucking hit. B-Rob, you can say things. She's your pick too.
I agree. You said it all. I mean, one of the things that I enjoyed the most as of late is those vignettes they've been doing. Her training in the dungeon with Natty and all that stuff, giving her a more grittier and rough side to her, light, bubbly personality and everything or whatever. So I enjoy that shit. And then, like, do we get the low key goat from Natalya if she come back on screen? I want some of that. We got a little bit of it at the AAA show this past weekend, I believe, but I want to see it on the forefront. I mean, not too much, but just enough.
Natty might be most improved next year.
Yeah. If you watched any of her shit over the past year, she's been doing a lot of independent bookings and everything. She's done some shows with NWA, GCW. She's done Bloodsport a couple times. I mean, she's been
the AAAs.
Yeah. So, I mean, I
thought her podcast with Cody was really good. And
it's only taken her 12 years.
Yeah, she finally found it.
Well, shit, she might be most improved, right?
That's what I'm thinking. Maybe next year. Yeah, I don't know. I started to think a lot differently about her when I heard that podcast, almost to the extent of buying her book, which I have not done, but could be interesting. All right, that's the first three categories. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we are breaking into the best groups, the feud of the year, the event of the year, the best moment of the year, and later, the best news and the matches of the year. When we come back right after this little break here from your favorite ads.
Best Group of the Year.
And we're back. And as the title card has hinted at, this category goes to best group or team, however you want to put that into perspective. But I had a hard time picking my choice here. I have two that I had in my head, and it almost came down to a literal coin flip. But my runner-up for this category is the Hurt Syndicate. They came in together, as individuals or whatnot. Then they came together, and it was just like, these two are great, and they're great together. The addition of MVP is also great, and they are badass, man. They just wrecking shit. They won the tag team titles this year, and I can't say more than that about them. But in the same vein, this was two individuals that come together to form a team. I am highly impressed with the both of them. I've been tracking them for a long time. One of them, in a previous iteration of this show, was my professional wrestler male of the year. And the group that I have picked for my best group or team of the year is Jet Speed, Mike Bailey and Kevin Knight.
Good answer.
So, yeah. I mean, and it's almost in the kind of in the category for me for these guys as well as most improved, because they have steadily shown upward progression in this company. The matches progressively get better, and you put them together as a team, they're phenomenal or whatever. And then, they kind of hand in hand with the Hurt Syndicate in a way, because they were feuding at one time, and it was kind of a lot of back and forth. And, I kind of wish they would have pulled the trigger for them to pull the titles off of the Hurt Syndicate, but they went a different way. But I digress. That's it. My group is Jet Speed.
Hell yeah. I kind of agree.
We all know nothing beats a Jet Speed holiday. So
nothing beats a Jet Speed holiday. Yes, exactly. I agree with B-Rob in his assessment of the Hurt Syndicate. I thought they had a really great year, especially all the stuff that they did with the Demand. And if you don't remember who the Demand is, it's Ricochet and his his crew. Really great storytelling there. And that was kind of close to being my best group, but I will say it was pretty hard to beat. And I feel like there's also guys in this group that B-Rob also has a lot of affection for, and that is Brodito.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna pick them.
they had a fantastic year. Their tag team reign was awesome. Like they had great matches throughout the whole year,
and unexpected,
and their chemistry was so good together. Even their like backstage segments, you could just tell, like you could feel the camaraderie between them. And then I was, oh yeah, go ahead, B-Rob.
Yeah, it's just like, Bandito had those shows with CMLL and Brody was there in support and shit, and it's cool. They just always there for each other.
Yeah, totally. And I feel like the tag team divisions really heated up around them in a way. Like they had that what was it, a 4-way tag team match at All Out, I think, which was fantastic. And I was so into Brodito at a point that when they lost the tag team titles to FTR at Full Gear, I was like punching my couch. I was like so upset that they got pinned there. But man, what a team. I was fully invested the whole time that they were tag team champions. Brodito.
Yeah. Burrito.
A Brodito going in.
I'm going to be honest. This was a really bad year for groups.
These were the shining stars.
WWE's tag division is in the gutter. Like, Paul, gun to your head right now. Name all the tag team champions in WWE.
Oh, this happened to me earlier when I was in the Target parking lot, and I was like, who is my best group? And I'm like, who the fuck are the tag team champions in NXT?
I thought you were going to say, this happened to me earlier. I was in the Target parking lot and someone pulled a gun on me.
No.
Whoa, why didn't you lead with that tonight?
Charlotte's not that violent. We only stab people on the train here.
But yeah, just like really bad tag team wrestling. Groups are stale as hell. Do you remember last year we were talking about how, oh man, can't wait for the Judgment Day to split next year?
What about the year before when we were talking about the Judgment Day splitting? They've been trying to split this group for years.
Edge was in this group. Like
Edge started this group.
And then like the MFTs, fuck no. The Wyatt Six, get out of here. Like just an awful year. And
they're the tag team champions, by the way.
Okay. And admittedly, I don't watch enough AEW tag team wrestling to pick these people. So I'm just gonna go off of vibes and feels and say my favorite group of the year was CM Punk and AJ Lee. Okay. I thoroughly enjoyed everything they did on screen together this year.
And they're a good group.
Yeah, and their tag match with Becky and Seth was great, and the promos leading up to it, and every time Punk just like mentions her, and just them being around each other, it's cool. It's fun to watch. So
it is kind of incredible how much like AJ Lee showed up, just like totally intact of how you remembered her.
Oh yeah,
very impressive.
Hasn't missed a beat.
If anything, she's gotten better.
She's most improved, some would say.
She could be. If she's around a lot next year, she might be. I want to echo Cody's statement earlier about how this is a very tough year for groups. To the point of, I think PWI gave Best Tag Team to the Hardy Boys. It is 2025.
That's crazy.
If that is what you're picking, that should tell you the state of the group division of wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't agree that the tag division is shit. And that's because there was that period of time on SmackDown during the fall where it was like all of the tag teams and the Wyatts, and they were having killer matches every single week. The problem is no one really stood out. And like DIY was doing great shit. Fraxine was doing great shit. They're all doing cool shit, but none of it really resonated. They finally got a match on a pay-per-view, which was nice, but just not enough to be the best of the year. And then I was like, who the fuck is the best? And then I was scrolling Instagram during the break, and I saw Poncho and Macho, two solid-ass cats of the Broken Skull Ranch, and I'm like, well, those are my runner-ups, because I did decide on an answer earlier today. This was a tough one, and I do have a justification for it.
The Judgment Day.
That'd be so funny. No. I'm giving this Best Tag Team award to Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. For the one reason, two reasons. One, Alexa Bliss. The other reason, it completely revitalized Charlotte Flair in a way where
I can agree.
I don't hate seeing her anymore. I think she's great. I've never felt that way in her entire career. This tag team saved her career. Not that it was going anywhere, but like she was not going to go away. But as far as like an entertaining act on TV, this did wonders for Charlotte Flair. So I have to give it to Alexa and Charlotte. I'm not happy about it. I wish I had a better option, and I wish it was easy. But that's where we're at, folks.
I don't hate
the stables and the tag teams are rough this year.
Feud of the year.
Pass.
Cody.
Yeah. Well,
Ain't nothing good this year. Sorry, folks. There was no CM Punk and Drew McIntyre this year.
Hey, so like for real, when you get to me, I had to pull some shit out of my ass because
Turns out you don't have to. You can say pass.
I want to
I
give
have
you
no
something.
answer for this.
I want to give
I
you
hope
something.
you do. I hope you do.
wow. If I had known pass was an option, but I did come up with something. This was a rough year for feuds. Like Paul said, there was no standout story. There was no Drew McIntyre CM Punk. There was no thing that drew me in because it was just kind of the stories were just kind of all over the place this year. It felt like a lot of just placeholders or holding over. I mean, we obviously know that there were plans for things with Travis Scott, and those fell through, and The Rock, and maybe what could have been there. And then, you know, with Cena's retirement tour taking up so much of the story this year where they're trying to fit in a lot of things. So there was no, like, nothing you could really sink your teeth in that lasted for a very long time. So it was definitely a tough year for feuds, but I did come up with one, and it kind of goes back to my pick for Women's Wrestler of the Year. Because the woman that appeared the most on my Women's Match of the Year list was Becky Lynch, and that's why I gave it to her. And a lot of the times that she was on that list, it was with Lyra Valkyria. So my feud of the year is Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria.
Good answer. Good answer.
I loved their Backlash match, their Money in the Bank match. And then they threw Bayley into the mix, and it was really good at Evolution. But yes, like Noah said, besides the in-ring work, the promos were really good. Becky went out there and was very clearly determined to make Lyra a star. And Lyra got her chance to shine, which I alluded to earlier when I gave her Most Improved. So I think overall, it did end on a little bit on a sour note, unfortunately. But and in any other year, I don't think this would be able to win it because of that. But this was just a bad year for feuds. So it gets my pick.
Yeah, I definitely shared the sentiment of this being a really bad year for feuds. Like, yeah, I cannot really think of anything on the WWE side, and even on the AEW side. I mean, I feel like the first half of the year was actively pissing me off. Just like the feuds were just so frustrating. And even into the second half of the year, there was some stuff, but kind of like Cody said, where there wasn't really much that would last long enough for you to really sink your teeth into to like get really, invested or care about. And that being said, my feud of the year is Hangman Adam Page versus Samoa Joe.
Ha! Ain't that happening like right now?
Well, so it's been happening because
it's been happening.
Yeah,
it's not even over though.
Well, sure, yeah, but it keeps getting better. But where it really kind of started was, at least like this version of it, was right before, I believe it was Wrestle Dream, when Hangman kind of dropped and disrespected Joe's trios title.
Mm-hmm.
And that, like, I thought that was a really cool moment of storytelling, because like then Joe was like,
nah,
hey, like don't disrespect my title. That title that you're holding should be mine. And I thought that was like a really good, justification for the feud. And it's, gone other places since then. But and also with the addition of Swerve to it now that he's returned, it's become something I'm now very invested in. And I feel like even when it they started it really well. Yeah. Hangman versus Samoa Joe.
Well, I mean, you had to pick something, and Paul did implement the pass rule, so I mean, I guess you had to pull something up.
You don't have to pick something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You implemented the pass rule.
Sometimes no answer is an answer in itself.
Yeah, but I did go with something. I wouldn't have picked what Noah picked because of Samoa Joe. But I'm gonna go Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita.
Yeah.
So, and pretty much what I put down here on my pick was the Don Callis family shenanigans or whatever, because there's more than Okada and Takeshita going on within that group right now. He had the falling out with, I mean, pretty much it's Don Callis versus everybody, because he had the falling out with the Bucks and everything, and the shit with Kenny Omega all throughout this year. Also, the infighting within themselves with
the infighting's
Okada.
Really good.
Yeah, I know, with Okada and Takeshita and everything.
And Kyle.
On top, yeah, exactly. On top of that, you have Kyle trying to be the leader of this and try to prove himself that he's better than the two acclaimed best, in the world right now. Takeshita being the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, Okada being like the unified and the continental and the goddamn supposed best tournament wrestler in the goddamn world. These two are fighting each other, and Kyle is like, I'm better than both of you, so why the fuck I ain't the big dog? So it's just like all that turmoil going on up under the Don Callis umbrella. So I guess not only is it my feud of the year, Takeshita and Okada, is I guess the Don Callis shenanigans, but for simplicity, Okada and Takeshita.
Yeah, and I think like for your point for Okada and Takeshita, I thought they seeded that feud really well.
Forever.
Like, yeah, like they before they even really started being ugly to each other, they would just like give each other, snipey looks during promos and stuff. And I thought it was really effective.
And that was even before they folded Okada into Don Callis family proper, too. It was even before that.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
I like that
Takeshita
answer. I will say I did consider Okada and Takeshita as my answer as well, because when I have tuned into AEW, that has always been a highlight. And I hate Don Callis and the Don Callis family, but that these two acts have thrived in spite of that. So that's a very good pick. Mm-hmm. And if we were doing separate awards for WWE and AEW, that would be my AEW answer for sure.
Yeah.
God, that would be so tough.
For real.
Yeah, and the show would be a billion hours long.
All right, so I guess I'm up again.
Well, we got to play the sound first, but it's very possible some of these answers are shows that are a billion hours long, because the next category.
Event of the year.
So I won't say too much about it. I'll just give you my answer straight out, because a lot of things will be revealed after the fact. My pick for event of the year is AEW Revolution. And
really good show. Really good show.
Had a lot of good matches on there, a lot of drama. And I mean, some of those things will come up later in this conversation. So that's my pick.
Okay. I will say, yeah, like Revolution was on my short list. I was really thinking about Full Gear, the most recent AEW pay-per-view, because there was just so many titles changed during that event. Like there was just, I felt like there was just a lot happened after that, that pay-per-view. That was really, really good. But I will say, I think just from top to bottom, a pay-per-view that had the most like really cool matches, like none of them were stinkers, most of them were great, and that being AEW All Out from this year, from the Adam Copeland and Christian Cage tag team match against FTR that was way better than I had any expectations of it being. I had almost no expectations for that match because of how kind of under delivering Adam Copeland has been while he's been in AEW. This match was so good. We got the return of Eddie Kingston,
which that was a flop of a match despite this card being good.
Yeah. And that match also had Big Bill, which we love Big Bill, and Mark Briscoe and MJF in that fucking tables and tax match, which was great for the sickos, which, All Out is usually the the place where the sickos thrive.
Yeah.
Then you had that trios match between Okada, Takeshita, and Mascara Dorada, which like Mascara Dorada really got to show out there. Moxley and Darby's coffin match. Chris Statlander winning the women's world title from Timeless Tony Storm in the Fatal 4-Way.
The ladder match.
Yeah, the ladder match. And that huge clusterfuck ladder match. God. And for the tag teams. And then the nearly 40-minute match that was the main event between Hangman and Kyle Fletcher, which was also
fucking Fletcher.
Yes, exactly. Which was also on my short list for match of the year that we'll get to later. But yeah, Kyle Fletcher,
it's just called a list.
This card was so good.
It's just called a list when it's Kyle Fletcher. It's like saying Canadian bacon in Canada. It's just bacon.
yes, of course. But yeah, All Out. Where the sickos live.
All right. This one was tough. I had a few things written down. Was thinking about it all day. I did have Revolution as a potential option. I did really enjoy that show. But then I remembered the absolute stinker that went on last at that show of John Moxley versus Adam Copeland, and genuinely one of the worst matches I've ever seen. So I feel like you cannot give event of the year to a show that had that bad of a main event. I also thought about Double or Nothing. I thought that was a really good AEW show. I really liked Okada and Speedball. I liked Ricochet and Mark Briscoe a lot. I remember liking the Anarchy in the Arena match more than usual. But at the end of the day, I still think these AEW shows are just too long. And every single one that I've tuned in for, I have not been able to sit through the entire thing without either falling asleep or needing to pause it and walk away. So I just,
to be fair, you can't make it through a Ryback video without falling asleep. You like those.
But I watch that to fall asleep. These
that's not fair. We're podcasting now.
So I feel like I cannot give it to an AEW show for those reasons. So then I look at my short list for WWE shows, and kind of for a similar reason, I didn't pick Elimination Chamber, because while I did really enjoy that show, it's only 4 matches. It's very short. So that was off the table. And then it was down to 2 shows. And one of them was Saturday Night's Main Event from December, which featured John Cena's Last Night. I just thought that was a perfectly crafted show. It did what it needed to do.
All the matches were good.
All the matches were good. It was 4 for 4 for matches. the young talent shined. It was a great show. And I really wanted to give it to that, but I just feel like I can't forget about WWE Evolution.
Okay.
Oh,
That
right.
show-
Yeah, that show was really good.
Was fantastic. They finally gave the women another Evolution show, let them go out there and showcase, and perfect amount of matches. 7 matches. That is the sweet spot. AEWs are way too long. The men's WWE PLEs, or, well, not the men's WWE PLEs, but the regular PLEs, you know what I mean, are too short. This one, they were like, all right, let's put our best women out there. Let's do 7 matches. I think there was, like, the tag match was for NXT was disappointing, but wasn't offensive by any means. The rest of it, all fantastic. Absolutely loved the triple threat for the world title in the main event. Or, sorry, not the triple threat, the Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, which turned into one when Naomi
cashed in.
But really enjoyed the sprint that Tiffany Stratton and Trish Stratus had. Thoroughly enjoyed Jade Cargill in a no holds barred setting with Naomi. And the tag match, which really showcased Paul's group of the year, Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, and made me fully on board with that tag team. And then my aforementioned feud of the year, Becky Lynch and Lyra being featured in the opening match with Bayley. So just a great show. I don't know if I necessarily need an Evolution every year, but the women do continue to prove that they are the best thing in WWE in 2025. And Evolution was a perfect example of that.
Hell yeah.
Good pick.
Well,
Well,
remember when I said at the beginning of the show that
could
a
pass?
lot of the stuff I picked was very early in the year?
Mm-hmm.
This one's no different. And I don't think this will be on the event of the year. Maybe not on the best show next year. But I have to give it to the Royal Rumble.
Wow.
I know it's only 4 matches. However, I thought, especially going into this, let's not forget where we were in January of this year. There was rumors that Alexa Bliss was not re-signing her contract, which seemed fucking insane. And we even talked about it on this show about how stupid that would be. And sure enough, that was a swerve to get everyone to pop when she showed up in the Rumble, which was awesome. DIY got booked on a pay-per-view, which made me very happy against the Motor City Machine Guns of all people.
2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah, that happened. Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens had an insane fucking match that was tremendous. And the Men's Royal Rumble, let's not forget the stretch of calling it that I've had this year with with Joe Hendry appearances, because that was amazing. Just even the idea of a TNA champion being in a Royal Rumble and having the belt and being called that's a TNA world champion is bonkers. I think I loved that show top to bottom, and it set the stage for Jey Uso's year. It set the stage for John Cena. Like they prepped a lot of stuff on that show. It felt purposeful, and I don't know. It's like that they've clearly forgotten how to do that, and maybe they're just in need of a week off. But I don't know. I loved the Rumble this year, and I think it really, if you go back and watch it, knowing everything you know this year, you're like, oh, this all makes perfect sense.
Yeah, Paul really showing love for Charlotte this year.
That's right.
Didn't have that on my bingo card.
I moved there. I gave her an award. She won the Rumble.
Yeah, he's inside Charlotte.
I am inside her now.
Also, I really thought I knew where you were going when you started, when you said that you were going really early, and I thought you were going to pick the Netflix debut of Monday Night Raw, just so that way we could hear Paul say that his favorite event was January 6th.
Hey, I will say my runner-up was the Big Beautiful Parade. I don't know if people remember that.
No.
We'll talk more about that on a Patreon someday. Before we go to break, we do have one more award to give out, and it is
Best moment of the year.
All right. This was so cool. As we know, wrestling is about moments. That's what WWE says. That's not what everybody else says, but that's what WWE says. And I just talked about two. The Alexa Bliss return was insane. The Joe Hendry appearance in the Rumble was insane. And my moments of the year is like, those are the first two on the list of options. My runner-ups being the Cena heel turn and the Cena Cody promo that Cody had mentioned earlier. But I think my moment of the year, the one that I was most excited to be right about, was a little incident occurring where Kevin Owens got injured and couldn't make it to WrestleMania. And we got the Joe Hendry WrestleMania appearance. Made my fucking night. That was my favorite moment this whole year. I've rewatched it so many times. It is so great to watch those stupid doors open and his silly back turned and the insane pop. I think we talked about it on the podcast last week. Cannot be overstated how insanely over this guy is on the main roster. If you tuned into NXT, you'd have no idea. I hope that next year is... I honestly, I hope he gets most improved, because I think he's great, but I do think
they just need to fucking use him.
This will run its course. But for the sake of this year, this is Joe Hendry's year. I don't think you can say anybody had a better year in pro wrestling than him. Just look, I mean, he didn't work at this company until like a month ago. And he had a Rumble spot. He had a Mania moment that is up there with like most Mania moments. He has merch that I've never worn, but I did buy because it's made of that fucking Gildan shirt that it's like stiff ass printing on the front. I'm not trying to get chafed nipples just by walking down the stairs. But what a year for this dude. Mm-hmm. Despite the fact that he's in NXT and getting completely wasted,
he's there by his choice.
He endures. And for me, it was Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton, the moment of the year.
Nice.
I believe.
I'm glad you went with that because I don't have to now. That was on my short list for moments.
Fuck yeah. You can still do it.
I
still do
clean
it.
Sweep, guys. We haven't done a clean sweep on this episode yet.
I was tempted. It was very cool. Especially like, I don't know. I think because of you, it made that moment even better for me because you were calling it.
I was screaming it for weeks.
You were so happy when it happened. I was like, all right, this is pretty fucking cool.
I will say
but
the only
end,
time I've missed this year with a Joe Hendry appearance was the Jey Uso needs a mystery partner in Scotland. And it was fucking Jimmy Uso. Assholes.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck were they thinking? That was the only time I missed.
But in the end, he's a comedy jobber, and he got his ass kicked by Orton real quick. And I don't know. It just kind of... I feel like I couldn't really give that moment of the year. I thought about giving it to AJ Lee's return. AJ Lee's return was really, really cool. But I just felt like, I don't know, we kind of knew it was happening. So I'm instead going to go with a moment that was surprising and honestly sent shockwaves throughout the industry and pop culture. And I don't think there's any denying that. And that was John Cena's heel turn. We're just talking about the turn itself and that actual moment. We can talk maybe on a future pod about everything that happened after. But the moment at Elimination Chamber when he hugged Cody and that frown turned upside down and Rock slit his throat, it was a holy shit. I mean, us like
I think it was on the
lifelong
Today
wrestling
Show
fans,
the next day.
Yeah, and it was super viral. Everyone was talking about it. I could not
legit
open
containment.
I could not open TikTok or any social medias without seeing something about it or clips of it.
I had
Good
people
resolution
in my
for
life.
next year, by the way. Don't open TikTok. Don't open social media.
That's fair. I had people like in my life reaching out to me like, hey, what's up with this? Like people who do not watch professional wrestling, but needed to know about John Cena's heel turn.
Yeah, something that us lifelong wrestling fans thought we would never see again is heel John Cena. And it happened, and then Travis Scott got involved for some reason, which was just like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. He shoot punched Cody Rhodes in the ear. It was all just shocking and surprising and confusing and exciting, and made you want to tune in.
Emotions.
Made you want to tune into the next show, and that's what moments in pro wrestling should do. So, John Cena's heel turn, moment of the year, 2025.
Well, I gotta say it. I'm holding hands with Paul.
Yeah,
and Joe Hendry showing up at the Royal Rumble is my moment of the year.
The Rumble
totally worked. Wait, yeah, him showing up at the Rumble, right?
I picked WrestleMania. You picked the Rumble?
Oh, at WrestleMania? Oh, no, I picked the Rumble because I got totally worked. I thought that he was supposed to be on a boat. He was he was booked on the Jericho cruise.
That's right.
And he was still showed up. So we got two Joe Hendry appearis's on the list.
I think I've told the story about Joe Hendry in the Rumble because I had also been saying before this, like, he's got to be there. He's got to be there because in January of this year, especially the people who were like today were like, whatever, Joe Hendry. January this year, those people were not that way. They were very much can't wait to see what he does. I went to take a shit. as I was walking up the stairs, I heard the clap, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" I was so mad, but I've watched it. Most like 90% of the views on YouTube of their official post is me. He turns and like points, and a guy thinks he's pointing at him, but he's not. It's amazing.
Yeah,
B-Rob, hit us with a Joe Hendry moment. Did you love it when he beat up the Miz?
Yeah,
he's gonna do it again on SmackDown.
but you know what? Since I'm going into my pick right now, is kind of adjacent to that. But
Booker T singing Joe Hendry's entrance last week.
Fuck no.
Oh yeah, man,
that was great.
My best moment of the year is John Cena's retirement.
Oh yeah, you love when fucking old guys retire. You gave it a sting last year.
Well, yeah. He is stepping aside. He's making a way for the future to come up behind him and whatnot. He's leaving that boat space open for a new boat to come in, and I can appreciate him for everything that he's done for professional wrestling, and making the attempt to try to make it better in his own way. And the moment he retired, left his tennis shoes in the ring, to tap out the Gunther with the smile on his face, it was great. And then like I connect with that because there was a moment in my life where I had to do something similar when, I separated from the military and I retired. So I remember all those good memories for the past 16 years prior to that point, to where like I'm leaving this all behind and I'm starting a new thing in my life. So I resonate with things like this. I like that.
I think that makes sense. You would identify with a Marine. I will say, I know we talked about it, I think last week, but the John Cena retirement is kind of perfect in every single way. And if you listen to him on the Rhodes podcast later that week, where he explained the smile is obviously him overacting, which is most of his career. Mm-hmm. But he very much saw this as like a character who has lived and is now dying and is like,
I accept
he's done it all. He's accepted it. And it is a going out as a celebration and being like, I've left this place better than when I found it, which is 1000% true.
Yep.
2002, when he debuted, not a great time for pro wrestling. And the years that followed were not good at all. And he kept this thing afloat to a point where, for some reason, it really took off. And I'm not giving Roman Reigns any credit for that because I don't think he deserves it. But they've really found their stride. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a generation that just kind of like found it and said, this is our thing, because it was almost like overnight. It went, well, I mean, it had to be overnight because before it was just TV screens in a building. But
I mean,
within like 6 months post COVID, every show is sold out. Like, and ticket prices are more than they've ever been. And it's crazy to me that I assume people are just putting it on Klarna or something, but it's crazy to me where wrestling is now versus where it was when John Cena debuted. And I think he deserves maybe 75% of the credit for turning the business around. Creating a world where you could have multiple pro wrestling companies on TV. Like in 2002, TNA got a TV deal and everyone's like, oh, here comes number 2. And then they watched it and they're like, yeah, it's number 2.
And it's still here.
Yeah, that's insane. But like in 2026, I think AAA has a TV deal, maybe not in America. AEW's obviously got TV deals. They're probably going to get new ones. And WWE's got a billion TV deals. TNA's got a new TV deal. That shit wouldn't have happened. If you go back into 2008, you'd be lucky to have any pro wrestling today. Like Deuce and Domino era, ain't nobody giving that shit a TV deal. They were lucky they were in a contract with whatever, was it USA or TNN?
Yeah, something.
Wasn't it like My TV or something? What was that station that?
Oh yeah, My Network TV. Like,
Yeah.
SmackDown was in an abysmal place, and now they're on USA, and USA is begging them for more time. And I think John Cena deserves a lot of credit for that. And we, of course, said the obvious thing: it's rare for a wrestler to go out on their own terms, and not be, broken.
That's another. That's another reason I picked this as well. Is it's like he got to go out his way, so I appreciate that too.
And it's going to be so cool when he returns.
Yeah, that ain't happening.
In AAA as Juan Cena.
I don't think it's happening. But we are going to briefly retire and then return after this break because we are going to wrap up the best of awards because we have the best news of the year and the men's and women's match of the year right after this break.
Best news of the year.
Folks, there's a lot of wrestling news this year. Despite what you might have heard on this podcast when we would come in and be like, there's nothing to talk about. There were some big stories. WWE bought another promotion and is running shows quite regularly with it. They're also feeding money into a promotion and they're running shows quite regularly with their talent being completely rated, which is fine. But my best news of the year is a piece of news I didn't think we would ever get. And I don't think we would have ever gotten it if it wasn't for Tony Khan completely ruining CM Punk's life. Because AJ Lee returning to wrestling and signing a long-term deal with WWE to come back is completely insane. Like, it doesn't process to me today. But she's back and she signed a deal with them. And that is my best news of the year. It's so cool to see her back on TV and getting to work with people who are also really fucking good. Because when she left, it was with people who weren't getting time to even be good. Like, it was her and the Bella Twins and Paige and like Emma. And that was it. And the Bella Twins at the time stunk. And that could be because they stunk or because they didn't have enough time to be good. And Paige just showed up and she was on her way out. And she being AJ. So like, she's in there now. I hope she gets a great 2026 where she gets to work with all sorts of people. And it's even cooler to see her in there working with the people like Roxanne who have childhood photos with her. And somehow AJ looks identical.
Yeah, and Roxanne to some extent.
Well, let's not say things like that.
Oh, come on now.
She looks a lot better today, and I'm not trying to get on any Epstein file. But yeah, AJ Lee returning to pro wrestling in general is the best news of the year.
Mm-hmm. What you got, Cody, man?
Ditto.
There you go, 2 for 2.
Yeah, not much to be said. AJ Lee signs with WWE is my news story of the year. Fantastic. Never thought I'd see it, etc.,
Yeah.
etc.
AJ and Dragon Lee?
Nope. AJ Lee. April.
Uh-huh.
Mrs. Punk.
Mrs. Punk.
Fantastic news. There was obviously speculation and signs pointing towards her doing something with the Punk and Becky and Rollins feud. And she came in and did that match, and that was one thing. But when the actual news story of her signing a long-term deal and WWE put out the video of her signing the contract, that was the like, holy shit, like this is real. She's back. It's not just
Not
a quick
one-off.
little. Yeah, right. Fantastic news. I cannot. She hasn't been utilized that much, but I'm hoping that in 2026 we see a lot more of AJ Lee. So I'm excited.
I do think it's fascinating that there is an alternate timeline where she returns to wrestling in AEW if CM Punk didn't hate it so much. Because she wouldn't have come back to wrestling if he wasn't having a good time. And he's clearly loving his corporate CM Punk job where he feels valued, because I think they do value him now. And that's what he wanted. Even when he left AEW, everything he said was like, these people are assholes to me. They don't care about my insight or my advice, which, like, that's an ego thing. Obviously, he's up his own ass a bit, but I think he can make the argument, and I think many people could, that he should be up his own ass a little bit. He came up at a time where he shouldn't have made it, and he made it. And that was on his own, accord and
Paul Heyman
being who he is. I think Paul Heyman went a long way for him. And it's also fascinating to see that I was reminiscing about old times and how Paul Heyman was the king of all pro wrestling writing and was public enemy number one for the McMahons for a while. And now everyone is sick of him so much and the online hates his guts. But there was a period of time where it's like, SmackDown sucks because Paul Heyman got fired. Like, it's very funny how wrestling works. But there is a world where if the Young Bucks told CM Punk they liked him, AJ Lee could be wrestling Mercedes Monet right now.
Yeah. What a weird timeline we live in.
Hopefully our 2026 news story of the year is Sasha Banks returns and we can still get that match.
Look, man.
Noah, what you got?
I know that's going to piss people off, but I want that so bad.
Get Noah in here.
Where is Noah?
Is he throwing up?
He's throwing up because he doesn't want to see Sasha Banks ever again.
I'm just waiting for a pregnant pause because my best
Naomi's
news
not
of
here.
the year is Hulk Hogan fucking died.
Hey!
I forgot about that one.
I forgot that happened. That's a good one.
Good answer. Good answer.
Hey,
Good answer.
you know what? I wasn't gonna have anything. I was gonna pass, but now that Noah brought that up, put me down for that shit too.
Wait, can I change my answer?
Yeah,
I'm kind of tempted to. I forgot that
change
happened.
it. Fuck that motherfucker. Change it.
Remember how his
Rest in
last
piss.
live appearance in WWE was getting booed out of the building at the Jan 6 Raw on Netflix debut?
With a shirt hanging out his ass.
Dumbass. Yeah, that guy, like, unlike John Cena, who left professional wrestling better than when he came to it, Hulk Hogan did the opposite. He actively did things to make professional wrestling worse. And yeah, fuck that guy. He's dead.
Yeah.
And it was really funny because I was like my day job, I was at a summer camp, getting video footage for like B-roll, putting together like, hype packages for the summer camp. And there were a lot of like middle-aged dads there, and I got to ruin their days by telling them Hulk Hogan died. So that was fun.
I think Hogan making wrestling worse is fine. I don't like him for that. He was a genuinely bad person.
Yeah.
And I think that is another reason to celebrate. Because like the whole like, oh, you made wrestling worse. It's like, well, it's fucking business. Like business is gonna business, and
yeah, but it only benefited him.
Yeah, but it's also that was the time though. You only did things to benefit you. That there's a reason WCW failed in that way. And WWE for that matter. But people looking out for themselves and making sure that they go over and they look the best and getting their shit in. And I think we're still a little bit in that. Like you got to get your shit in, but it seems like everyone's more of a team now.
Yeah, but if there's no company, there's like no way to get your shit over.
Yeah.
Fuck that dude. Get him out of here. Well, he's already out of here.
Fuck that dude. He is so out of here.
I'm still pissed that we still have to see his fucking face for the Real American beer commercial ads. Yeah.
I hate it.
It's crazy to me that they're still using him for that. They must have nothing else to sell that beer with. It probably tastes like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Where is Ric Flair dies on this year-end awards next year?
It's in the memoriam section.
It hasn't happened yet, but yikes.
Women's Match of the Year.
As I said, in direct correlation to my event of the year, AEW Revolution, my match of the year for the women's category is Toni Storm versus Mariah May at AEW Revolution. It was the Hollywood ending. Man, they went all out, no pun intended, and they actively tried to murder each other. And I enjoyed every single bit of it. And it's not a day that goes by that I don't think about that, because it also makes me sad for something that we'll talk about later on.
Yeah, what a year Mariah May has had.
Mm-hmm.
She certainly had a year.
Kind of the opposite of Joe Hendry.
Yeah.
Opposite trajectory.
But oddly, both in the same spot, but opposite trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
That's odd. That's been one of my favorite things on TikTok lately, is people have been doing the Toni Storm promo that she did on before the Hollywood ending, basically saying that like like wherever you're going next, like you'll have a job, but you won't be famous.
Mm-hmm. I actively post that video clip in the Discord often.
Okay, but you also post a lot of AI slop, so let's not give yourself too much credit.
Oh no, you're a fucking lie. Where I posted it?
Fucking Roman Reigns making a pasta dish or something.
Oh, no, that was funny. That was funny.
I ain't watching it. It's never happening.
That's funny.
I'm holding hands with B-Rob. My women's match of the year is also Timeless Toni Storm versus Mariah May in the Hollywood ending.
Hold my hand.
AEW Revolution. It's just like B-Rob was saying, it's just very violent match. But they also incorporated like everything of their feud that had been happening the previous year. Like so much, people forget how long that feud was, and it was all really good. Like multi phases.
Yeah, because she came into the Timeless character. Then they signed Mariah May. Then Mariah May became a super fan. Then she became like a Tony's clone and a lackey. And then that whole thing, it just so much.
Yeah. Spectacular long feud. And then like this being the finale was tremendous. Like, they have the shoe, using the shoe as a foreign object, and the Storm Zero through the Hollywood ending table. And then after the pin, having the camera pan out to seeing the end on the Trons, and having Tony just like caressing Mariah on the ground, just two lovers turned to enemies, but still lovers. Just like so, people love to use the word cinematic or cinema when describing some feuds and matches. This truly was that. This is what those things wish they were, and even more so than these cinematic matches of like the COVID era. Like this just felt so like deliberate with its storytelling, with its presentation. Just I honestly, this is probably like across like both divisions, my match of the year. Is so good.
Agreed.
You guys got any more hands?
Woo!
Because I want to hold them. Because my women's match of the year is Toni Storm versus Mariah May. Match at AEW Revolution.
We're prancing around in a circle, me, you, and Noah.
Everything you guys said. This match was perfect. It was like just nonstop from the go. It was violent in the best ways. I'm not a big fan of violence for no reason, right? Like I don't need to see on weekly television every week John Moxley pulling out a stapler. Like that does nothing for me. There's no story there. But when, like Noah said, this is a year-long story and it's culminating here, and there's like reasons that you can get attached to and characters that have earned this type of moment, and that was done perfectly here. I don't think I've ever watched a match and then immediately wanted to rewatch it as fast as this match. The very next day threw it on and was like, I want to watch this again. It was so good.
Mariah May, like story wise, legitly died in that moment because we never saw her again after that, right?
True.
I guess.
Yeah, that's the thing too, right? Yeah. Like you talk about John Cena's retirement being a perfect ending. Like this was a perfect send off for the character of Mariah May, as far as AEW is concerned. It was great. It was beautiful.
Yay! Paul, come dance in the circle with us.
Unfortunately for me, you gays are all out of hands, and I didn't see it. So
that's insane. You still haven't seen it?
I don't want to see it.
Good.
I just don't. I didn't see it. I don't want to see it. I'm sure it's amazing. I've heard 3 people tell me, and everyone else. I, on the other hand, am going to be insane and pick a match from Raw that I watched.
What?
Way back when. In February,
BFAB versus
because this match appealed to me so much. It was Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai in one of their several matches they had.
Yeah, it was in the Hollywood
I loved
ending
it
for her
so much. I thought this was going to be Dakota Kai's year, and I fucking ripped it out of my hands.
It was her year.
This match was awesome in a way that matches on TV can be awesome. She unfortunately did not make it through the whole year. Rest in peace, Dakota. But I wrote this match down being like, this match fucking ruled, and I have not written down a match since. And I know there's better matches. I thought Stephanie Vaquer versus Io at WrestlePalooza was amazing. But I didn't write it down because I loved this match. I don't know why. I can't tell you. It had the wrong finish. Lyra won. That was a mistake. She stole her fucking title and career. But I am hooked on this Dakota Lyra match from Raw, and it's going to stick with me for eternity. So
it's an insane
fuck me,
pick,
right?
But okay,
it's an insane pick.
That's like when B-Rob would pick like some Joe
Brian
Schmo
Keith
from
for
the
anything.
Indies for Wrestler of the Year.
Look, man, I like what I like when I like it. So that's what we got. Now, our final category, which we have to get to. Spoiler alert, Joe Hendry versus Randy Orton.
men's match of the year.
I'm joking. My men's match of the year is also from very early.
Same Raw.
Yes. I'm giving Dakota and Lyra another spot. No, it has to be Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens, the ladder match at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I loved that match. It was so good. I thought, honestly, like,
I didn't
Kevin
see
Owens
it.
if Kevin Owens didn't get hurt, that'd be so funny. If I was like, this match was great, I didn't see it. If Kevin Owens didn't get hurt, like, this probably could have been Feud of the Year. Because they were doing some really cool shit. And unfortunately, Kevin Owens didn't make it another month after this. And maybe next year will be his year, because I do think we're getting him in the Rumble. But for me, it was Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens at the Rumble.
Good pick.
That was a really good match. That's a match that, like, one of my friends that I invited over to the Rumble this year, and that's like the only professional wrestling he's seen, he still talks about that ladder match. That was really
I think that's an easy one to forget too, because Kevin Owens is out and Cody Rhodes is still feuding with Drew McIntyre. Like,
yeah.
just dreadful shit. When I was trying to watch Raw this week, because it was pre-taped, it didn't just immediately start on Netflix. You had to like go find it. And then because I had not watched like January 27th of Raw, it was auto playing that one first. And I think that Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre had a segment on that show. And it just made me so sad.
Well,
I think it's my turn, right?
Well,
yeah. So, despite not being a great year for wrestling, not a lot of good feuds or anything, there were some really good matches this year. From both companies. There were a few Okada matches I had on my list of matches of the year. There were a few Gunther matches.
okay, saying a Gunther match being on your match of the year contender is not an absurd take.
No, not at all.
What would be absurd
Dominic
is if both you and I were like Speedball and Fletcher, because that is a very credible contender
Really
that no
good.
one would expect from us.
Right. But yeah, lots of good stuff. Swerve and Ricochet from Revolution was also great. Some really good stuff. But I alluded to it earlier when I picked my wrestler of the year. It came down to John Cena and CM Punk, because they both appeared on this list 5 times. And I think, without a question, John Cena's best match this year, and my match of the year, was John Cena versus AJ Styles at WWE Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, that was a really good match.
That match was perfect. It was 5 stars. It was an absolute love letter to pro wrestling, and it had me hook, line, and sinker. I was smiling. I was laughing. I even nearly cried during this match, and that's not hyperbole. Like, it had so many. It had so many great moments. The crowd, super important part of pro wrestling. It's the reason I stopped watching during the pandemic, because there weren't any. Their participation in this match was so good. It wasn't, typical, oh, let's get ourselves over. It was, they like genuinely directed the match, which is what a crowd should do. And John Cena talked about that on his podcast with Cody Rhodes, about how, he learned that you need to listen, and it's a conversation with the audience. And this was a prime example of him doing that, when they were picking up on the fact that John Cena and AJ Styles were paying homage to their past opponents and pulling out their moves. They started calling for things like an RKO and even a 619. Yeah, which, like, there's no way they planned to do a 619, but they got the chant and they did the spot. They dropped toe hold into the ropes, and the crowd popped massive for it, and then AJ reversed it, and it was so good. Like, they were just conducting that crowd, and the crowd was conducting them, and it was a beautiful synergy. I loved this match, and it's in my top 5 of all time.
And I
Might
just
even be top 3.
I just remember that day of the show that the whole thing was pretty much garbage except for this. And I remember asking y'all specifically, because when I tuned into the show, this match was going on, and I kind of caught the tail end of it, and I was like, I think I'm just gonna watch this match and nothing else. And he was like, "You're right."
So good.
Noah,
Right. Well, a match that involves a wrestler that I've talked about a lot tonight, Kyle Fletcher, and a pay-per-view that we've also been talking a lot about tonight, AEW Revolution. And that is Kyle Fletcher versus Will Ospreay in a steel cage match at AEW Revolution.
that boy did a Spanish fly off the cage.
He did a Spanish fly off the fucking cage. This match was incredible. Just like the feud leading up to it, really heated. Just, Kyle being sided with the Don Callis family and Will splitting from them. And this match, just like so much of, they did such a great job selling the hatred in this match, which, we talk a lot about, like steel cage matches and like, like violent matches, like, oh, is this really a payoff to something? Did they justify the violence? Did they justify the steel cage?
Yes.
They absolutely did that here. Just the, playing off of their history in United
Empire.
Yeah, United Empire. Like even like in this match, there are points where like Will is about to just annihilate Kyle, and Kyle throws up the United Empire salute. And like, that would like, oh no, we're brothers. And like, and also Mark Davis showing up and introducing, all sorts of plunder to this match. Will Ospreay doing a Styles Clash to Kyle on top of Tax, which is just insane. And then of course the finish to this match being like Will about to do a hidden blade to Kyle, who is just on his knees, just completely spent. They have completely taken each other to their limits. And all Kyle can do is just yell, "I fucking hate you," as he submits to his fate. That just, I think about this match a lot. I think about that moment a lot. And also like a visual from this match, even before the match started, when they both stood on top of the cage and Will Ospreay is hearing all of the fans chanting to his music and Kyle just plugging his ears as they both stare at each other. Just so much, like all of the visuals of this match I think about, I continued to think about throughout this entire year, and nothing I feel like came close to like how I feel about this match. So
man,
except for
Goose,
except for Lyra versus Dakota.
Goosebumps. Goosebumps for your reimagining of that match, that retelling. I mean,
I really didn't like the finish. I really didn't like the finish of that match. I gotta say, I hate the "I'm sorry, I love you"ification of pro wrestling, and I did not enjoy that. But the rest of it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
so fair pick.
This whole story has had so many twists and turns, and like if not for this, we would not have the Kyle Fletcher that we have today, because he did so much early on to try to separate him from Will Ospreay, because they had the same haircut, they had the similar build, that similar gear. I mean, it was just, he was damn.
He
Ospreay
completely transformed himself.
Yes.
Like this is a completely different Kyle Fletcher than when they were a team together. Like, yeah, like you said, like he bulked up. He got way buffer than Will Ospreay did, and yeah, he shaved his head. Just
I remember. I even remember the promo that he did. He did the promo while he was shaving his head, and it was fucking crazy.
Amazing.
Definitely a coming out party for him, for sure.
Well, I the match that I've chosen, in typical B-Rob fashion, I don't think any of you three, maybe except for Noah, have seen it. My pick was Bandito versus Hechicero at Death Before Dishonor.
Woo!
This was a 2019 pay-per-view. It 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 was a 2019 pay-per this shit here. Not as wild as Noah's match, because it was steel cage and a whole bunch of year of animosity involved, maybe even a little bit longer than that. But these two have been constantly been put in each other's path via ROH, Collision, whatever have you, and some other promotions probably. But every time these two touch, it's Hechisero's a magician, right? It's fucking magic.
Yeah.
I mean, they did shit that I have never seen before in all my time of watching professional wrestling, which has been a very long fucking time. And like, there was a spot to where they were outside on the apron, and it was like a sunset flip from the inside of the ring to the outside that got reversed in midair and twisted and slammed out to the floor, which sounds batshit me even trying to explain it, but it fucking happened. It's just like,
and it cannot be understated how huge of a dude Hechicero is. So it is insane that they're doing stuff like that.
And then like another thing, like I don't remember a lot of stuff, but like this match sticks out to me because of what you just said, Noah. The commentary aspect, they pointed it out, is like when you look at Hechicero, you see a big man, you see strength and all this other stuff, but you don't see the speed and the athleticism and all the other stuff that he can do because of his packaging and everything. You get all that with Bandito, but like when you look at Hechicero, you don't see all the same things or whatever, so it catches you off guard and shit. I mean, this match was fucking amazing, and I believe the night that I watched it, it was me and a couple other people inside the Discord, and I was begging people to use my login to watch this fucking match.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
I just want to note that Lyra and Dakota did a perfect plex off the apron, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
We did it, folks.
We did it.
That's the 2025 Year-End Awards. First annual, as many people are calling it. Best of 2025. What a year. Hopefully 2026 is better. Like, obviously we had some great stuff to talk about here, but there was some, we were struggling from time to time.
Yeah. Not every category.
We had our first ever pass. That should tell you something.
It won't be our last.
There may be more to come. There may be more to come. Well, it wouldn't be the 2025 Year-End Awards without everyone's favorite in memoriam segment. B-Rob, who's dead?
All of them. Now, we got Blackjack Mulligan. No, it's not the one that everybody's thinking about. His name is Lawrence Colson. Is a different guy. There's another wrestler named Blackjack Mulligan. It's not the same one. Anyway, Colonel De Beers, and then there is Gran Hamada, and we also have Thomas Edward Gilbert Jr. We have, I can't even pronounce that. I just copied and pasted. I don't want to disrespect their family name either. We also have Australian Suicide. That's his ring name. We have this is one that really got me.
His ring name, not Cause.
No, he's a real person. He's not a caw.
Yeah, so
okay.
This is one that kind of got me right here. Is Kevin Castle or whatever. So way back in the day, when I first got into podcasts, not doing them, but like listening to them, I was looking for pro wrestling podcasts. And before I found this podcast called RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk, there was another show called the Don, Tony, and Kevin Castle, show. And they were the first podcast I ever heard pertaining to professional wrestling. And this was way, 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 way back in the day. So these were the first wrestling voices I ever heard. I got to hear a lot of these guys live. They both lived in New York, but at the time of them recording these shows, they never met each other, and they lived in the same fucking city. You know, it's kind of like, you live in Houston and shit, and you can probably never meet a motherfucker that you knew here either because it's so spread out and however they got that set up. but like, you know, I was subscribed to that Patreon, all kinds of things or whatever. So I had some kind of attachment to the show, and to find out that the dude passed away kind of hit me. Yep. So I had some attachment to that. So rest in peace, Kevin Castle. We got Hayashi Shima. We got Steve Mongo McMichael. A lot of y'all should remember that one, right? Sabu. We got Ozzy. We got that punk bitch Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, son of a bitch. We got Hashimoto up in here. We got whatever the fuck that say. We got Jaka. I'm bad at names. I tried to tell y'all this.
This is such a list that you put together, and you're like, I don't know how to say Tomohiko Hashimoto. I don't know how to say
that's why I said
Daisuke.
See, exactly. You should hear me on the Japanese show when they saying all this shit. I'll be like, I'm bad at names.
That's just how Will Housel talks.
Oh, hey, you're right.
I thought this was a much longer list, by the way.
Oh no, yeah, we did good this year. You know, I think
we got some big ones, but we didn't get a lot of them.
Yeah, I think June was the only clean month this year that didn't have any deaths, so I'm grateful for that. And then we had Mo from Mo and Mabel. He passed away. Scott Beach. We had a ring. I think he was a ring announcer. Bob Cuttle, and then Solomon Grundy, and most recently, and most recently Mark Wolf. I don't know who that guy is, but he died. He had something to do with wrestling, and they told me to put it on the list, so that's what I did.
Well, I don't think In the Arms of an Angel will cover the amount of time it took you to read this oddly short list. So I'll find some stock music to put over that. But that's the in memoriam of 2025. If you enjoyed this, first of all, folks, if you're listening this far, you probably like the podcast. So thank you for supporting us, even by listening. If you're not subscribed to the Patreon, we appreciate you a little bit, not as much as the people who do subscribe. And if you would like to hear our worst of 2025 year-end awards, that is coming your way on New Year's Day in the free feed. But if you want to hear it probably right now, maybe if not right now, then tomorrow, it'll be on the Patreon feed on the $5 tier. Head over to fatal4pod.com, sign up for the Patreon, get your ad-free episodes, get your access to the Discord, come hang out with us, and we will be talking about the worst shit soon. People love negativity out there. It's like kind of all the rage. So yeah, you can get plenty of negativity on that episode. But I think that's it for the awards. And yeah. Does anybody else have anything?
Bye.
Happy New Year.
Well, we didn't get all of it, folks. But we'll try again next year. I've been Paul Griffin, and this has been the Fatal Four. B-Rob, Noah, and Cody. And we will see you in 2026 or sooner if you signed up for the Patreon. Merry Christmas. Happy Honda Days. Merry Toyotathon. Good night.
Happy Chinooka.
You've been listening to a Fatal 4 podcast. Subscribe today wherever you get your podcasts and visit fatal4pod.com for more episodes, merchandise, and info on the Patreon.
Someone booted.